JJ, you spoke so eloquently the other day about everything around here. One of the things that you said was, you were looking forward to getting back to basketball, and in some part for yourselves and some part for the fans. How do you kind of go through that transition as a coach, as a leader of the players, from everything that's gone on now to being about ready to start a game?
Yeah, I look at it. I think a group functions best when you draw strength from each other, and the way my players, my staff, the organization has supported, rallied around me, rallied around the city, clearly, loved on my family. There's real strength in that, and that's the sort of receiving of strength. Then it's our job to go give strength and give hope and give joy. And sports are a lot of things, and sports can certainly provide an escape and a distraction, and hopefully sports and tonight can provide some joy as well.
JJ, can you give us a sense of how, as a coach, you managed the last few days of uncertainty in terms of when games would resume and kind of how you approach practice and time with your team?
Yeah, just trying to be really efficient with their time because of everything happening. I shared with you guys, we had a few players that were under evacuation orders. We had one player who couldn't participate on Saturday. I don't know what day. Today's Monday, right? Yeah, on Saturday, 2 days ago, because of the fire moving in towards Encino in the valley. So he had some issues just with kind of a bottleneck, and the strategy was stay sharp, stay conditioned, and be together and have the right spirit. And truthfully, I think it was our best 3 days in the gym, non-games of course, but our best 3 days in the gym since the first 3 days of training camp. It was the right spirit. We got a lot done, and the guys were super connected.
And the Lakers are dedicating this game to the LA community. What does that mean to you as the coach of this team tonight, and certainly someone who's been affected by the same thing so many people in the community have?
Yeah, I look at it. I'm not great with big words. I think symbiosis or symbiotic, something like that. Sports really work well when the team, the organization has a connection to the city, and the fans feel a connection to the team, and then it just flows in some sort of eternal circle of that. The Lakers have that with the city of Los Angeles, and having played here before and lived here, I'm well aware of that relationship. And part of the reason I wanted to coach here was to participate in that. And like I said the other day, we're managing and we're going through it. And we're going to have good days and bad days as a family, but we're going to be fine. My focus and Chelsea's focus over the last few days has been trying to figure out where we can get that strength back, and obviously the Lakers are doing that as well. Really grateful for all the first responders, particularly the firefighters that put their lives on the line over the last week, and I don't want to get political on this, but we're really facing an uphill battle with both the weather and the resources available.
Two questions, one basketball, one life, I guess. Basketball-wise, Vando was able to practice with the G League. How is his recovery going, and is he trending? I think you used the word might have been immediate or imminent. I'm sorry, imminent. How imminent is imminent, I guess, right?
Yeah, there's still a few progressions to ultimately return to an NBA game. He had an off day yesterday. Today was a lighter day, and then we're going to ramp it back up. And that's difficult right now with the G League traveling for, I think they're gone for 4 or 5 days. And then our guys are gonna play every other day, so we're not gonna have any live action in practice. So it'll be a little bit of a mixed bag over the next week with live play against coaches, live play with coaches, try to mix in a little bit with the Stay Ready group. But we'll get enough exposure to live simulation, and hopefully, you know, he's back soon. Again, it's close, but it's not gonna be this week.
Yeah. A lot of people heard what you said on whatever day that was, Friday, I think. What was the response like for you? Did you hear from anybody or have any really meaningful conversations in the aftermath of that you'll carry with you?
A lot. Again, I've been overwhelmed. You know, I'm coach a fucking game tonight, right?
Sorry.
Don't put me in these situations. I've been overwhelmed with the amount of support and love and generosity that people have shown to my family, and really all families that have been affected by this. We've witnessed it. We've been a part of it. You know, my wife, she posted something on Instagram this morning on her private account, and it was beautifully written, and it really just captured kind of what we're feeling, what a lot of families across LA are feeling right now. I think a number of people that I know sent me a comment or sent me a link and said, good on you or whatever. The thing that I think was meaningful to me were the people that live in the Palisades, and reached out and just said, hey, you know, thanks for articulating what makes this place so magical.
JJ, because of the postponements, it's been 6 days since you guys last played a game. Obviously, those were 2 losses in the Texas trip. How does, I guess, the layoff and gameplay affect, I guess, maybe how you evaluate the team in terms of just getting back on?
Yeah.
And in consideration also everything that's gone on in the last 6 days.
Yeah, you'd probably expect a couple ball control turnovers. Just, I think the sharpness is probably the biggest thing. We played enough of the season, almost half, that in terms of getting into a flow offensively, our talk defensively, I think all that stuff will be there. It just might be some sharpness stuff that is lacking. I will say, we really put an emphasis on, without killing the guys, our conditioning and taking a ton of shots, threes in particular, launch. And you know, I think we'll shoot it well tonight, and I think we'll move well.
JJ, 1, is there any update on Christian?
No.
No. Okay. And then 2, you said that the last 3 days you felt were the best since the first 3 days of training camp. What stood out, and have you seen this group maybe come closer together throughout this past week?
Yeah, I mean, look, I said it probably, I know I said it before the Texas trip, I know I said it at some point during the Texas trip, and that I liked our group in terms of how close we were and how connected we were. Given the circumstances of the week, you're probably in 99 out of 100 scenarios going to come up with 1 or 2 outcomes out of that. You're going to be disconnected, or you're going to be even more connected. And I would say our group has become even more connected. What stood out, you know, I think it's just the energy, the efficiency of time, the effort. I just asked them every day, I said, we all have other stuff going on. Just give me your best today. And they responded, they gave me their best. We had 3 great days of work. And hopefully there's a carryover to tonight's game.
JJ, what have you seen from LeBron as a leader of this group during the past challenges of this week?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely one of the more vocal guys. I thought, you know, Rob and I intentionally just, at the beginning of each day, addressed the group. We both spoke. Rob obviously providing updates from the league and updates on what was happening within Greater Los Angeles. And then we gave opportunities for the players to talk as well, and obviously LeBron stepped up and, you know, along with a couple other guys and the coaches, you know, we trying to galvanize the group, so Ron's always there to do that.
JJ, with Finney Smith now in and Jake, that's a new thing, but how have you felt like you've been able to put more of just the general stuff in on either side of the ball, and even if it's not, it's been a tough, busy week. Have you been able to make any progress to where you want to get to ultimately with what you're looking for in both ends?
Yeah, we don't want to overwhelm them though. We were able to do some script. Bob, Byer, and Greg and our coaches, you know, did a number of shell drills going over our principles and getting reps against coaches with that stuff. So both those guys should be really familiar with what we're trying to do. Continuing, you know, through the script and through our verbal communication over the last 3 days, they should be getting a familiar level as well with our terminology. So I feel comfortable with where those guys are at right now.
Coach, the Spurs are an up-and-coming team in the West. What's impressed you most about this current iteration of San Antonio Spurs?
Yeah, I think it's a nice balance of young players, and that's Wemby certainly stands out the most. He's a special talent and a special human, and does a number of things really well on both sides of the ball, to the point where, you know, a lot of your game plan is based on him. And that's not to say the other guys aren't great players, but he's a unique talent. And I think, you know, adding Harrison, adding CP, along with drafting, you know, Castle, I think their team's a really good team, and they're certainly much better than they were last year.
Coach, we just walked in from one of the donation drop-off spots outside. 12 teams coming together to help the city. You've helped individually from what we understand. What's your take on how we've sort of responded to the situation, especially when it comes to those 12 teams, including the Lakers?
Yeah, I'm awfully proud to be a part of the Lakers organization and our response. And I shared with you guys the other day, there's a number of people in our organization, our council, our videographer, like, who've been affected by this. I think, you know, I can speak from, you know, sort of my personal experience over the last 20 years, and certainly the last 17 or 18, being with Chelsea. We always want to help when things like this happen, and we've always tried to do our best. Being with an organization and in a city with a number of professional franchises that also want to do that, it makes you feel proud to be with the Lakers.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.